Welcome to the Positively You podcast. I'm your host, Jessie Larson, and I'm passionate about helping you shift the way you think so you can create a life you're absolutely obsessed with. Each week, I'll be bringing you a guest or a thought that's going to help you feel more optimistic and equipped to take real action. Get ready to push past limiting beliefs, ditch that negativity, and start showing up as the best and most positive version of you. Girl, let's do this. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Positively You podcast. I'm Jessie. I'm so happy that you pushed play today and that we get to hang out for just a little bit. So we are in December and I want to talk to you about traditions. Let's talk about creating family traditions around the holidays, maintaining traditions around the holidays, and just all things traditions today. So I wanted to start off by talking about creating them. As moms, we know that we are, maybe that we don't know, but it feels like we're the ones that are in charge of all of the holiday magic and making sure that the traditions get carried out every single year and that we create amazing ones for our family. And the first thing that we do, or that I commonly see done, is we head outside of ourselves to figure out what other people are doing, right? Post on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, wherever. What do? I need to start some new traditions with my family. What are your favorite traditions? What do you and your family do? I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, the number one way to feel inadequate about the things that you're doing is to see what other people are doing and compare yourself. So while I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing at all to get ideas or inspiration from other people, I think it can be a very delicate balance to getting ideas and then sliding into comparison and thinking that one family does it way better than you, or other families do all of these amazing things and you're totally lacking, and all of the things. So just a word of caution to ditch comparison around Christmas traditions and know that what works for one family, what might be absolutely perfect for one family, might be a complete and utter disaster for yours. And that doesn't mean that anything's wrong with you or anything's wrong with your family. It means that we are all different and different things are going to work differently for each of us. So just putting that out there, I know it's so easy, especially with how connected we all are with social media, to be able to look at all of the magical things that other people are doing and feel that little comparison monster creep in and take over and make us feel like maybe we're not doing Christmas or the holidays quite as good as other families. And that is a lie. So as you're trying to come up with amazing traditions for your family and just create these lasting holiday memories, I want to encourage you to let them happen naturally. There's list upon list upon list of 30 amazing holiday traditions for your family, 50 traditions you need to try, 101 holiday traditions for your family, right? If you had to Google and type in like creating Christmas traditions. And there are a lot of good ideas there. There are a lot of starting points there. But I've noticed that my absolute favorite traditions are the ones that have happened naturally, that I didn't sit down, that I didn't plan, that I didn't pin on Pinterest. They're the things that just kind of happened and then they became a tradition. So for example, I'll share one to get your wheels kind of turning a little bit if you need to. We celebrate in our family a holiday called Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve takes place on December 23rd, which is known as Christmas Eve Eve. And, you know, when you're counting down to Christmas and you're getting all excited, how many days are left? How many days are left? And it's not Christmas Eve, it's Christmas Eve Eve. And as my kids were discussing this a few years ago, my youngest was confused. He was, I think, 2 at the time. And he was like, who's Christmas Steve? And everyone laughed about who Christmas Steve was. And then we just started calling that day Christmas Steve. We thought it was funny and it stuck. And we decided to do something fun that day since it became a name, and we went to the store and got supplies to do some gingerbread houses. And now Christmas Eve is our family day to do a gingerbread competition. We all make our own, have a load of fun doing it. And then, we get doorbell ditched, we get our Christmas pajamas, and then we spend a night together as a family watching Christmas movies or a book or whatever. It doesn't have to have a lot of structure, but the 23rd is now Christmas Eve, and my kids look forward to it every year. I think this will be our third year doing it, third or fourth, I think third. And it's just so much fun, and I love it because it came so naturally. It just happened, and we have a funny origin story with it. And those, I think, are the best traditions. They're the ones that just happen naturally, and I didn't have to plan them, and it is unique to our family. So going with that, with what's unique to your family, as you're planning traditions or creating traditions, lean in to your family's normal and natural interests. I don't know what it is about this time of year, but we all kind of seem to fall into this heavily romanticized version of ourselves and of our families. And we want to kind of just build up these big, extravagant things. And without fail, our grand intentions get crushed. We get upset. We end up resenting when these big things don't happen. And a lot of times that's because we're pushing our family to do things that might look perfect on Pinterest, or they might look perfect scrolling a feed, but they're not actually what our family wants to do, right? Like my family, I would love a picture of them on a frozen lake, all wrapped up in beautiful scarves, ice skating and sipping hot cocoa. But they would hate me if I dragged them out there to do that, and that would be terrible. So lean into more of what your family naturally wants to do. If you're a sports family, figure out a way to incorporate that. If you love baking, incorporate that. If you're a gaming family, a Christmas themed game, something where you're really leaning into what your family already loves doing, so they're going to like it, maybe put a twist on it, things like that. If there's a tradition that you've been doing that feels kind of forced now, that no one really wants to do, but you just keep doing it because you've always done it because it's tradition, because that's what traditions are, let's maybe toy with the idea of being okay to let things shift or change or be different. And if the last couple of years have taught us anything, right? COVID, it's that we need to be willing to embrace change, to be different, to, maybe know that the holidays don't have to be exactly the same every year, and that is okay. If we can kind of start to realize that it's not the end of the world, if some years our traditions play out a little bit differently, and knowing that you can take it year by year. If you have something that needs to be skipped or needs to be shifted a little bit because of family dynamic changes or schedule changes or whatever, and it's just we're going nuts with this, we can't, something's got to go, that it's okay. And that doesn't mean that it's gone forever, or maybe it does. But I think we get so locked into this idea of tradition, and tradition means the exact same every year, nothing shifts, nothing changes. And that can cause so much pressure, especially on us as moms, to make sure that we make sure everything plays out perfectly. And in order to enjoy the season a little bit more, sometimes we have to be willing to let things go or be different or just kind of change or whatever. And a huge part of that is going to be letting go of the pressure. The perfection of your traditions is not what's important. It really is the presents. And I don't mean the presents that are wrapped up in wrapping paper or in bows or under the tree. Presents meaning your presence. That's what matters the most, is that your family is celebrating time, that they're together at this season, that you're creating memories, and they don't have to be these perfectly curated memories, right? And just like with Christmas Eve, the things that just happen naturally are going to be the ones that your family remembers the most anyway. So embrace that. Embrace that and let some of the pressure go from creating and from maintaining these Christmas traditions. Figure out the why behind them, of why you're doing them as well, and what ones really bring you that joy and bring you that happiness instead of that stress. Speaking of, if you haven't listened to episode 64, go back and listen to that about making sure that your Christmas is decluttered and that you're keeping it full of things that spark joy. That's with your Christmas traditions. So I shared Christmas Eve with you. I would love to hear what your traditions are that you absolutely love and the background stories behind how they came to be. So we will start that conversation on social media. So make sure that you're following me over on Instagram, where I'm most active, at positively.jessie. We'll have some Christmas tradition conversations going on this week, and I would love to hear what you're doing. Make sure you follow me over there. Come and say hi, leave me a DM. And if this or any other episode speaks to you, please share it with someone that you think would love it. Thank you for hanging out with me again today. I'm so glad you pressed play. If you want to take a quick second to share this episode with someone you think would love it too, that would be amazing. If you're loving the show, make sure you go and leave a review on iTunes. Reviews are like magic for podcasts, and your review will help get this show into the ears of more amazing women just like you. And come find me over on Instagram. I'm there at positively.jessie, and I cannot wait to hang out with you some more. So until next time, have an amazing week.